Welcome back. We're now talking about the last of the traps, and this one is about the confirmation pages and the obstacles that you face that you can easily get rid of, and some opportunities you have for making your survey much better. This is going to be a very practical lesson as I'm pulling in now an actual survey of, I get maybe a dozen or more surveys every week that I'm asked to critique, and this is just one of them I plucked out to show you. I probably should have used this as a quiz assignment, because if you followed me through all these lessons so far, you should be able to look at even just these 3 survey questions and identify 5 errors that are made. That is, the people that put the survey together are not going to get meaningful, useful, actionable results, right? Look at the NA and the way they frame the comment box and the double-barreled items. With just a few minutes of tune-up, they could have made this a great survey that really generated meaningful results, right? But we're not focusing on that content today. We're going to talk about the confirmation page. So I'd like for you to look at the very bottom. You'll see a previous and a next button. And when you click the next, you're going to go to the confirmation page. The survey's over. One thing you'll take note of is the Powered by SurveyMonkey label. This should not be there. I've had this discussion with many people, and I guess I can summarize it in this way. I have friends that shop at Walmart, and there's nothing wrong with Walmart. It has its use, but they don't then put all their belongings in a Walmart bag and walk around a fancy restaurant or through the mall showing off their Walmart bag, right? And the same is true of the SurveyMonkey brand. It's a great tool, very useful, but it's not really something you'd brag about, right? And there's an option right in there. Do you want the branding or no? And you click no. So that shouldn't be there in the first place. But let's move on. You've filled out the survey as a respondent. You've clicked next. And here's where you go. This is the default page. And this just is frustrating because somebody has just filled out your survey. They've just taken time to give you the answers to questions that you asked, and now they end up here. And their thought is, okay, am I supposed to do another survey? It says create survey. Well, you don't want them going to the SurveyMonkey thank you page. You want to thank them in your own words and offer them something more. And this is the default. And again, it's just a click. You just click and say, I want a thank you page. But so many people don't do this. Well, if you choose the option, give me a thank you page, when somebody responds to their survey, your survey, they'll see something like this. Thank you for completing our survey. Now, look at all the real estate on this page that's unused. When somebody fills out your survey and ends up on this page, don't you want to tell them something? Don't you want to maybe announce some events that are coming up? Circle some dates on your calendar. Tell them about some new product or some new service or some new course that you're offering. Don't you want to have a contact email, or send them back to your website, or let them know that you received their responses and what you're going to do with those responses? But so many times this is the confirmation page. And another problem with I'm picking on SurveyMonkey, but the same is true of Survey Gizmo, eSurveys, Survey Pro. As we said, there's about 85 different companies that have survey creation tools. But in this case, you can't get rid of the done button. So now the respondent is always left to think, okay, well, I thought it was done. Okay, let me click the done button. Well, you go right back to the SurveyMonkey branding page. This one's a little more entertaining. It has a dog on it and such, but still your people are thinking, okay, well, am I supposed to take another survey? Why am I giving charity to help protect animals? I mean, this is not what you want to do. And this, again, is a standard option in SurveyMonkey. So that's why I call it a trap, is by not paying attention and just choosing the defaults, you're really causing some annoyance on the part of your respondents. What you want to do instead is customize the thank you page. It only takes a couple of minutes. And in this example, this is one where I said the same things to a client. You can see they changed the wording. There's still a problem. You can see the SurveyMonkey branding. They didn't choose the no option. That should have been done. But at least they said, contact us if there's more questions. They put their website on there. So it's a little better to have it that way. But again, if you hit the done button, you're going to go back to the Survey Monkey page. So a better example is this one, and this was a survey that a church asked me to look at. I told them the exact things I'm telling you, and they made these changes. It only took about 4 or 5 minutes, but look at the confirmation page now. Somebody has completed the survey, and it says your responses have been saved. All right, so it gives them some comfort. Okay, you're done. They've been saved. But it also goes further. It tells them a little bit about the closing of the loop. And closing the loop is a huge principle. I teach other courses just on closing the loop. That's beyond the scope of this course. But you can see what they've done here. They've said what they are going to do with the responses. We're going to close the loop and let you know what the results were. And when are we going to do it? Well, we're going to do it in early August. They also put some contact information. Here's where to write us so we can send you the results. So this is a great landing page. It tells them we've saved your results. It gives them that comfort. It tells them that they are going to get some of the results on this particular part of August. And here's where to contact us. Now they still have that button which you cannot get rid of. So they changed it to say submit responses. You just can't get rid of. We've changed that to say ignore this button, but you can't get rid of it. So there it is. So I put a blue arrow pointing down that just says just to illustrate when people hit the submit responses, it goes to the church's homepage. So now the respondent feels like, oh, my responses have been saved. This was a survey that was given by my church, and I'm back at the church homepage. All is well. So that is a great use of the confirmation page. Now, there's some things that you cannot change. This is an example here of the closed survey page. So this church did the right thing. They customized the closed survey page so it tells people, oh, it's closed. We had to close it on July 18th. Why? Because we wanted to give you quick results. So that was a good thing, but they still couldn't get rid of the SurveyMonkey branding. They have only a gold plan, so they probably pay about $300 a year, but that's not enough. To get rid of the branding here, you need to be a platinum SurveyMonkey member. So they would have to pay another $750 to get rid of that. So this isn't a huge deal, but if people stumble across your survey, they're going to see some branding. But my suggestion to them is, well, just redirect that page somewhere else, or just remove the page altogether, or put a new survey up where the first question on the survey just says, hey, we're closed. But it's not a huge deal. So in summary, what we want to do on the confirmation page is get rid of those defaults, those traps that are built into your survey tool. Look through it as if you are a respondent. Is there anything confusing, like you click submit as if you're done with the survey and you're on some other company's home site? Is there a way you can better communicate with people by putting something on the confirmation page that lets them know that they're done and how to contact you and more information? And you want to be able to stand out a bit. Show your expertise. You don't need to have the branding on there. When I see Survey Gizmo or eSurvey or powered by Qualtrics or what have you at the bottom, I understand they're using a web-based survey tool, but just in my mind, I know they could have removed that. So I have a different opinion when I see that on a survey. So make sure you stand out, get rid of things that you can get rid of in terms of branding. And more importantly, use that real estate on the confirmation page. Put on there any kind of events coming up, dates they should circle. Maybe you have new services, new courses, you've updated your product. Maybe you can redirect them to another site, a membership site. I do this often. When I fill out a survey or have people fill out a survey, they are then redirected to some description of a new course I'm teaching. You want to put some contact information on there. And importantly also is a little bit about the closing of the loop. Let them know we got your responses. Here's what we're going to do with them. Here's where you're going to see some of the results. And here's when the survey will close and where we might make those available. So that is the best way to leave your respondents in a good frame of mind. They've just given a lot of their time to help you answer your questions. Make sure that your confirmation page just doesn't dump them somewhere, but that you show them that the responses were received, that you understand that they're now here, what else they can do, and use this to your advantage, both for you and for their sake, so they feel that comfort of knowing that their responses were gathered, that their voice was heard, and that there is somebody at the other end of this survey. So that's the final of the 5 traps. And the next section, we're going to be giving you some beyond expert tactics. So tune in for our next lesson.